Hey there, and welcome to No Pants Profits. And Richard is today wearing pants, unfortunately. I know, and I'm going to introduce this guy in a second, but I happen to be on the Virgin Voyages cruise ship. It is 2:13, let's be technical, in the morning of Thursday, November 4th. And right as I was getting on the boat and we were pulling out today, had a new IPO come up in the Robinhood app that I want to talk about. Now, very important about this IPO, they don't yet have a filing date. So that's a very important thing, but it did pop up in IPO access. It is called Sweetgreens. Move over a little bit, doing this live. So it is called Sweetgreens. And again, if I look in this actual IPO screen, you'll see that they filed their prospectus. You've got the price range is coming soon, final price is soon. This is a very, very early look. So we may come back and we may visit this again, but I want to look at their financials. I want to look at their S1 and everything. And if you have followed along on this channel a little bit, we're in the mess right now. One of the nice things, I got myself a nice healthy omelet with some fake meat in it. Some Impossible sausage right there. I've got my Impossible sausage. And Bill's got some bacon. So, and that's real pig bacon. But
neither of these are salad, Richard.
no, neither of them are salad. And that's what Sweetgreens is it is a salad store, or a salad location to buy salad. I do want to address something that happened earlier today, and then we're going to go in. But we had the IPO actually happen earlier today of the, what is the name of that one that happened? Let me look. I can just look in the IPO access. My mistake. Already launched. Had an IPO that launched earlier today, which was Bird, all birds, and was up 86% today. So all birds was up 86%, and I got myself 25. Requested 25 shares, just based on it being the #1 video here that you guys have actually watched, and I got 14 of the 25 shares. So today I made $160, 86% on all birds.
Well
but
done.
what I want to do, this is Bill. He is a professor of hospitality management, and he's cruising with me right now, and maybe giving us a bit of a different perspective on this S1. So I want to go over the S1, take a look at the company. We're going to look at their website first, go over the S1. This is Bill's first S1 review, so he may have some questions. We'll bring it back and forth, and we'll take it from there. Plus, Bill found some stuff on social media for Sweetgreens he wants to show you a little bit about. So we're going to jump first. We got us in the corner there. This is the Sweetgreens website. Our new fall menu is here. So their new fall menu is here. I guess fall back, spring forward. And if we look, we can see everything there. We can order online.
Kale Caesar salad.
Yeah. We're going to look at their S1, but I'm just kind of looking at what's going on their website, what they're showing. It is kind of strange. That's GDPR. But it's hard to find the locations. As weird as this sounds. You agree with me there, Bill? Like,
yeah, it's not
shouldn't there
really
be a
apparent.
find locations? Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, I know of them because I've been to Washington, D.C., and they're all over that area, and they actually opened a few stores in Florida.
Right,
But
no.
It's
But
not
like,
really on the
if
website.
you go to Chipotle's website, you go to McDonald's website, you have a location finder in the
It should
top
be very obvious.
right-hand
Yeah.
corner.
Even if there is one on this page, I don't really see where it is. I mean, it might be. There's something that says store at the bottom, but nothing.
So, I mean, we're looking at this for the first time right now.
Yeah.
And they do have their TikTok, so maybe we'll just pull up the TikTok here.
There
I
we
do
go.
apologize. We are on cruise ship Wi-Fi, ship with a P. But let's go ahead. We're actually going to jump over to Sweetgreens because Bill has actually found some intro. We're on cruise ship Wi-Fi, ship with a P. But, you know, Bill found some stuff on their TikTok, so I'll hand over my phone and he'll give you an idea. Some have.
Oh, there, yeah. So
Yeah,
it looks like
so-
they're celebrating that they're opening their World Trade Center store.
Sweetgreens, 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 Sweetgreens.
Hey, you know, I'm not too crazy about their dance moves, but it seems like they're happy with their new store. Great.
All right, let's see what else they've got on there, because they do promote their TikTok very heavily.
All right, so they're showing us how they make their hummus bowl. All right, then
Okay,
we got
this one is highly requested. Here's
how to
everything
make
you
the
need to make the
hummus
peppercorn
tahina
So they're
bowl.
showing how
and
they make.
here's the
So
actual
they
sauce.
do. It seems like
Yeah.
they have a very large social media following.
To make our falafel from the hummus.
Cilantro vinaigrette dressing. You know, I'm not really here to rate TikTok videos or anything, but they're not showing you like the actual amount of ingredients for this, so you know, good luck on making it yourself.
When the Jake Crowler stop it like it's hot. That's the actual music that was there. Okay,
Okay.
so we took a little look right there. Let's go ahead. Let's jump back to the actual S1 filing. Just gonna turn off the audio right there, and let's jump back to the actual S1 filing. And I think, correct me if I'm incorrect, Bill, but I think this is the first S1 you've ever taken a look at here. You've dealt with financial statements before, but
It's been a while since I've
you're
seen
kind of
a
new
new
to
filing.
to the S1 world.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my headphones down a little bit because we don't really need them as much anymore. But you're new to the S1 world.
Of course, they're incorporated in Delaware, because why wouldn't you?
Of course, they're incorporated in Delaware. So Sweetgreen is incorporated in Delaware, but they are based. You are an LA guy, so bringing you in on this is actually. I've been to California, I think twice. I am not a California guy, so it's actually great timing that I got a California guy in for a salad company.
Yeah.
Hey,
There are a lot of different.
kind of some interesting. So they are based in Los Angeles, California.
That's a tough neighborhood when it comes to good salad places.
Yeah, so let's see what we've got right here. Let me put on one headphone so I can hear. Okay, so Sweetgreen Class A common stock. Now, they have not yet figured out or disclosed a range for their stock price. So that's an important thing. They've not disclosed a range for the stock price. But let's see what we've got here. So you'll see that they don't have an initial public offering price or a range. What you will generally see is when it comes up in Robinhood, it will generally show you a range. Currently, let me just pop to the Robinhood so we can kind of see what's going on here. Currently, you don't have a range nor a launch date inside of Robinhood. So if I look at Sweetgreen, scroll down a little bit, we've got the initial filing popped up earlier today, but we don't have a price range, a final price, or an actual IPO date. Now, if you look at some of the others that we've covered, Backblaze and some of the other ones, they are coming out in either this week or next week. A lot of them are going to be coming out. So that's an important thing, that we don't actually have a price range yet, so it might be a little bit further out than you would think. But let's jump back over here. So there's a lot of people involved. Now, what these people are, this is not the auditing bank. That's the important thing to understand. These are the companies that are actually going to help issue the shares. So like JP Morgan may be working with Robinhood. I'll give you a perfect example. When Robinhood came out as an IPO that you could buy on Robinhood, Robinhood was one of the share issuers. So these are the banks that are helping get the shares out in the IPO space.
So I recognize a lot of these: Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan,
Big boys, yeah. We're
Morgan
going to take a look a little bit.
Citigroup.
So what I want to do is we're going to actually take a look at the Sweetgreen actual. This is their presentation, and underneath it, there's going to be numbers.
So it's essentially like a prospectus, or
this is a prospectus.
Okay.
So if you've ever invested in private equity before, I know I have, and I think you have as well. This is like a prospectus, but it has to be filed with the SEC in order to have to be on the public market. So what it does include, and we'll get to that in a minute, is it includes the audited financial statements for the last 2 years and the unaudited financial statements for this current year. So that's important. So again, this is a healthy thing, and I like bacon.
Our mission is to build healthier communities by connecting people to real food. Well, okay.
Okay. How's real food too?
Okay, that's their original store. That's like 14 years ago in Washington, D.C.
So that's their original store.
The tavern, yeah.
2007, tiny, kind of like a Waffle House back in the day. You know, today they're building healthier communities in 140 locations across 13 states and counting. So
everything's expanding in Austin, man. Like everything's exploding in Austin.
Yeah, and you know, I'm a Miami guy. I'm a South Florida guy.
Yeah.
Now, what I said, we had a little discussion, just kind of looking at some of these pictures when we were on Sweetgreen's website, which. If we still look, we still can't figure out where their damn locations are. Very easily.
Evidently, they have one in Pasadena and Miami.
Evidently, they've got Pasadena, Miami, and Austin, and all those other places like that. But I think it's got kind of a Apple meets Whole Foods flair. If you know, Apple built a new store inside of a bank recently. And, you know, kind of for their... Every store has its own personality.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what Apple tries to do with their not all their mall stores and stuff, but with
Yeah.
their flagship stores. So I see a little bit to do with that. Atlanta, New York. Now
Okay.
look, the New York one looks like a New York corner store.
Yeah.
There's no personality really. Even Atlanta has a little personality. But if you take a look at Miami, graffiti on the wall, Miami, that's the personality. In Pasadena, that may be an old movie theater.
Well, these are also their hand-selected stores to put in the perspective.
Yes, I
so
agree.
these are going to be the more unique
So
storefronts.
I'm looking at this picture immediately. It says Healthy Chipotle. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
It's just
I completely agree.
It's screaming
Yep.
Healthy Chipotle. Now, all that matters here is the numbers. But I see Healthy Chipotle. So what we do every day, we do this every day thanks to 5,000 plus people who power our mission. Now they only have 140 stores, 5,000 people.
Yeah.
So we can say 20,
Yeah.
30 employees per store.
It's important, I think, though, to note that Chipotle, when they expanded, they had the help of McDonald's. If you remember that,
Yeah.
McDonald's owned Chipotle, a large portion.
A large
Chipotle
portion of Chipotle.
for a while.
Now
They
there might
helped
be
them.
ownership here. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
This is what we're going to get into. Our vast network of
Yeah.
sustainable suppliers. So again, they're going for green.
Uh-huh.
And I will tell you, it was very similar to Allbirds, which was a green shoe company that lost money, and
Yep.
they're up 86% today. So,
Yeah.
in the first day in the market. So so here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to position themselves as a chain. This is what I'm getting, and I'm looking at this file for the first time, as a farm to table chain,
Okay.
which is rare because generally
Yeah.
you have not everything can come from Brentwood, California, from the Dwelly family farms. But again, we're in a prospectus. Again, Healthy Chipotle. It's literally just saying, I'm Healthy Chipotle. We come together to create fresh, plant-forward, earth-friendly meals we serve, while making it easier for millions of customers to eat healthy.
Okay, so that's a nice feeling that they want people to be healthy and everything.
They make money?
Oh, that is what this is about, isn't
That's
it?
look, in the end of the day, all this green crap you're looking at doesn't mean poo-poo caca if they don't make money.
It's
So,
not for me. It's also about risk. And,
Of course it is.
If I'm any place, like let's say I'm a Kentucky Fried Chicken or
Yeah.
something, that's Yum Brands, right?
Mhm.
But almost everything they have is not as much of a risk in terms of food preparation as lettuce is. I mean,
with
when
E.
you're
coli
talking
and
about-
salmonella,
yeah. So there is a little bit of
they want to
inherent
rewrite.
risk
So their
with
whole
everything they
goal
do.
is rewriting the future of food. So maybe
Yeah.
even the title for this could be can Sweetgreens rewrite the future of food?
Yeah.
We don't know. They got 140 restaurants, average unit volume, so average per restaurant, $205 million. I would say, the big urban ones are pulling in $5 million, and they got
That's 2.5 million.
2.5. Sorry,
Yeah.
2.5 million, not 205 million. So
2.5 million.
2.5 million. We've got revenue of 303 million, and in 13 states plus imaginary Washington D.C. So it's probably it's not a state yet. Sorry, you
do you
don't
mean
get
yet?
senators. It's coming.
Yeah. Oh no.
Domestic Food Partners 200. Total digital revenue. So they have a lot of online ordering. So Sweetgreens, there is an article which I will link below. I don't know if did you read the Chipotle
No, I
article the other day?
didn't. Yeah, no.
So they had a really interesting article on Chipotle and how they've been totally changed by COVID. And they've, and I will say the C word because it's relevant to this discussion. They've been totally changed by the illness, COVID, whatever you want to call it. And they have, in their change, they have had a lot more digital orders. And it's actually put a lot of strain on their employees. They've made extra lines and things like that.
Yeah.
And let's talk about NPS. We've talked about this in other videos before, but I want to re-go over NPS. I've got Bill that really gets NPS. So we are actually in a very interesting location right now to talk about NPS. We are on the first cruise ship of a brand new cruise line. And what you've got when you have an NPS, what an NPS stands for, essentially any NPS over 1 is good. So if you have an NPS over 1, hey, it's a good thing. It's not, you don't really want an NPS over 1, but what a net promoter score is, it's the relation of people that will give you a 9 out of 10 versus the people that will give you, let's say, a 1 through 6. Some say 7. So if you are asking someone on a level of 1 to 10 to rate your experience, like this ship right here, if you give them a 9 or a 10, you're likely to not only like it yourself, but promote it to other people. That's the important thing. If you rate something 1 through 6, or 7 sometimes, you're going to detract away. And not only will you not use that product again, but you'll rabble and tell people not to use it. So you're either a promoter or a detractor, or you don't matter. So if you're in that 7, 8 number, you're a detractor. And I'll give you an example. Tonight was our first night on board, and I actually got a survey that asked me how our first meal was in a restaurant.
Yeah.
That is related to an NPS, and they're trying to get that NPS now, which is something I've never seen before. You know, so NPS of 78 is in the ballpark of Apple, is in the ballpark of Amazon. It's in the ballpark of a lot of big corporate companies there. That's a really good NPS. Well, I do like that.
I am curious on how they're calculating their NPS, because there are
funny?
different ways to
There
calculate.
represents the average net promoter score from 2018 through September 26. So it doesn't tell you exactly how they calculate it. But the general term, yes, there are other ways to do it. They're not going to give us more than that footnote. I agree with you. We started Sweetgreen as 3 college students who were simply looking for a healthier way to eat. Again, I'm going to link this whole S1 so you can take a look at it. But what they're trying to do, fast food for a new era. I like to read the things that I think are important. There are 50 million Americans who eat fast food every day at more than 280,000 locations. They have 140 right now. So, they're comparing 280 to 140. It's an interesting number. In the early days of Sweetgreen, very few people regarded a bowl of vegetables dressed with lime, cilantro, or spicy cashew as fast food. But McDonald's has added salads, Burger King, if you want to call it that. Put some fried chicken on some lettuce, you got a salad.
It's the salad shakers.
It's a salad shaker, Yeah. And, not only are they doing that, the industrialized food system has enabled large supply chains to design menu items optimized for production efficiency at the cost of nutrition. Hey, look, it's a lot easier to heat up a chicken sandwich in a fryer than it is to put a salad together. So, they're getting those 200 domestic farmers and producers across the country, and they're saying they're proud of that. Again, this is their rah, 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 rah. One of our core values of Sweetgreen is called win, win, win. Powerful lens that encourages the team to find solutions that operate value for our customers. The company, this is the DNA of us. Today, 140 restaurants, more than 5,000 team members, 25 million meals this year. Again, I think with the NPS, it's probably, unique people of maybe 2-3 million. You probably have, again, they're not disclosing that. It's hard to tell. And I'm pretty sure one of the things that we both know is if you have any place that won't accept Apple Pay, the reason they're not accepting Apple Pay is because they want to track you. Yeah. Almost every payment terminal accepts Apple Pay. I'm sure that Sweetgreen accepts Apple Pay. But when you accept Apple Pay, the credit card number changes on every transaction. So you can't really tell as easily if someone has eaten there multiple times. So they're just looking at 25 million meals. They don't know how many unique viewers or unique visitors you've got there.
Well, do they have a
They likely have a rewards program, but again, not everybody uses that. So those are hard numbers. Take a moment to thank all of our team members. Again, don't care about that. That's a little love letter. Okay, guess what we're getting to now?
This looks like the meat of
this. Looks like the numbers. So let's take a look at the numbers. Okay. Sweetgreen. Okay. Key business terms: cash-on-cash returns, restaurant level profit for any consecutive 12-month period, divided restaurant's initial build-out costs, inclusive of tenant improvement for allowances. Okay. Comparable restaurant base. So how they're comparing the restaurants. Again, they have to define these terms to put the numbers below. So that's the important thing. So in-store channel refers to sales customers make in-store purchase at our restaurants, whether they pay by cash, credit card, or digital. Marketplace is through a third party. So Uber Eats, DoorDash, who knows? It actually says Grubhub, Postmates, all these other ones.
We don't have caviar now.
No. Native delivery channel is a sale customer makes directly through Sweetgreen website or mobile app. So they probably don't have to pay out a commission on that. So they like those a little bit more. And I think we're gonna get a owned digital channels, or pickup channel, native delivery, outpost, purchases made on our in-store via digital scan to pay. So we've got the pickup channel. Refers to sales customers make for pickup one of our restaurants through the website, and total digital. So that all makes sense. So here's the question: do they make money? Okay. 19 restaurants were excluded. Okay. Average unit volume, AUV, is divided by the trailing revenue of the prior 4 fiscal quarters, so the previous year, in a rolling basis. It allows you to assess change. So it allows you to say if a store's gone bad. Now, why are they talking about this? The big C word, the COVID. They're talking about this in every one of these IPOs. What you're going to see is COVID, 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 COVID. Because unfortunately, businesses are blaming COVID for bad service. It's the truth. It's actual. Everything is satisfactual.
Yeah, but
COVID-y-doo-dah. But,
Yeah.
They blame COVID for bad service. We are Floridians, and Florida, as of November 4th, 2021, has the lowest positive rate in the country. So
Yeah.
Florida is open for business. That's all I'm going to say.
No, but I travel a lot to other places, and I'll tell you, and you know this about me. I happen to love the Four Seasons hotel chain.
Yep.
Mostly owned by Bill Gates now.
Really?
But, yeah, every time I go there, I realize that the experience they're giving you is essentially their normal experience as much as they can. And they can still command a much higher price point because they're not cutting corners, because of COVID, and they're not really blaming COVID for things.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that people are
But
gonna
most other places are.
Yeah, but I don't think people are happy to spend the same amount,
Nope.
when they're not getting as good a
Nope,
service. And
I
they
agree
don't-
with you.
And they don't care that your excuse is COVID. Sorry,
Too bad. So
service is
sad.
not as good, then
Yep. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
take a look at a perspective summary. This is their mission. We kind of already talked about this, who we are. We've looked through a lot of this. What we care about now is what?
money.
Money, numbers, Mr. Wonderful, Shark Tank, Let's see. What
I
sets
like
them
this
apart? Transparent, scalable supply chain. So they're saying they have kind of a vertical supply chain, that they have that relationship with their suppliers. But here's the question. How far can they grow
Yeah.
before they strain their existing suppliers? That's a kind of an interesting thing to take a look at. Healthy habitual menu. So they got new menu categories, warm bowls, sides, plates. They diversify their menu to provide customers with a greater variety of options collectively in our fiscal year. Okay, these new menu. Okay, so
Definitely a lunch place too.
interesting.
I'm getting
So
ahead of it.
yeah, it's definitely a lunch place. 43% their fiscal year to date through September 26, 2021. 43% of their revenue came from new products. I like that. It shows people are trying to, are willing to try something new. It's kind of interesting, we're sitting in the not buffet on board this ship now. And I will tell you, we both had stuff that's new that we've never had in a buffet on a cruise ship before. So, and as Bill said, they're looking at placed, so it is a lunch place. It is 2/3 a lunch place / breakfast if you're picking it up to have lunch later because
Yeah.
you're on the way to the office or other things like that, or probably retail employees, some of these bigger cities that get in at 10 o'clock or getting it and
Yeah.
going back and scooping it down. So 2/3 that way and a little bit more for the dinner. Total digital revenue. Okay, so total digital revenue percentage increased 30% from fiscal year 2016 to 75%. Okay, so that is total digital. So that's people ordering digitally, which is good. You know why? Because if a phone takes your damn order, you ain't got to pay a human being to do it. Again, all we care about is money. We don't care about minimum wage. We don't care about humans. A human takes benefits. A phone takes electricity. Electricity is a lot cheaper than benefits.
As long as the app is competent, I'd rather deal with a phone.
Yep. And own digital revenue, the things that they own, so they don't have to pay anybody out, grew from fiscal year 2016, grew from 29% to 56% in fiscal year 2020. So they're not going to talk about the current year because they're talking audited results right here. So
Right.
let's take a look. Total percentage of digital revenue. Look at that. That's a beautiful chart right there. That's
Yeah.
a very pretty chart right there.
That makes sense because COVID made that explode. So
Yeah, Bill has a background working in theme parks, things like that, and a lot of things
Yeah.
that theme parks were doing got super accelerated by COVID. I think
Yeah.
that's the
Well, also with fast food, because they probably didn't shut down, but a lot of their stores probably went to no in-store dining.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing. And
especially
yeah.
in the places their stores are.
Yeah, well, we're seeing that as a trend in the entire
Yeah,
fast food
I
market.
agree with you.
The new Starbucks stores, for example,
Don't have it inside.
They don't have an indoor seating area. They have an inside just for you to order food to go.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Kinda interesting.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's important to know though for the entire market.
So
the entire
okay.
market side. Yeah.
Frequency. So they
Okay.
do have that rewards program. You know,
Okay,
they
yeah.
when you're digitally ordering, they can track you, unlike with the Apple Pay and the
Yeah,
other things
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So you can see how many people have ordered, more than two, ordered one. So
That's a 68% conversion rate to getting their current customers to order through their own digital
that's
channels.
great.
And that's fantastic.
That's a great conversion rate
Yeah.
because that's less employees you need. That's everything like that. You just need the robots to run it.
Yeah.
Passionate team. We're getting people to talk to our apps instead of our human beings. And the next thing we talk about.
This is clearly a feel-good company, though.
There's
There's a lot of that.
We're talking
Can
robots.
Can we skip this part?
Yes, we can.
There's nothing.
Rapid growth. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Average unit volume. A lot of money.
This is all you, my friend.
Okay, so if we're looking at that from 2014 to 2019, their average unit volume went from 1.6 million to $3 million. So on average, now COVID happened, and the world of COVID is a thing, but they are recovering. You'll see that you've got 2020 2.2, and 2021 it's 2.5, and it's compared to 2.3 at that same time period as of 2020. So they lost a lot in the last quarter of 2020. Same store sales again went up about 26% overall. So, oh no, they went down 20 and 20. Okay, so same store sales went down 26% in 2020, but they're going back up. So they're kind of, this is going on with a lot of companies. They're kind of recovering to a pre-COVID world.
Especially if you have a huge presence in DC. A lot of stuff shut down there a
Yeah.
lot more than other places.
Yeah,
Also
I mean,
the New York
let's
presence.
be honest. Let's not beat around the bush anymore. This type of meal is in primarily liberal cities, and those cities did stricter lockdowns than the conservative cities.
Well, it's not just that, though, Richard, because if you live in D.C., you probably don't actually live in D.C. You probably live in Virginia or one of the surrounding areas,
Yeah.
Maryland. And if that's the case and your business place is not having you go into the city to have lunch,
You're going to make lunch
there.
at home.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
if you're working from home,
Yeah.
you got time to make your own
Yeah.
salad.
And a lot of their locations in D.C. are near office buildings.
So
And-
yeah, take a look at their loss from operations.
yeah.
We're looking 2014 to 2019. My God. In 2014, they lost 5 million in operations. 2019, they lost 70 million. 2020, they lost 142 million. 2021 to date, they've lost 87 million. So, yeah, that's some interesting numbers. I guess it's a polite way to put it there.
Perfect time for them to go public.
Perfect time for them. Well, because they probably need the money. Because a lot of these companies took
Yeah.
on a lot of debt to survive COVID. So, it's a
Yeah.
perfect time for them to go public. Restaurant level profit margin, 4%. So let's take a look. So this is restaurant level profit. So the restaurants are making money, but they're spending a lot on advertising, research and development, probably on real estate. So if you're looking at the actual finances, this is just net revenue.
Does this break out real estate? Do they
This
have real
will break
estate
it out.
holdings?
Yep, this will
Okay.
break it out a little bit lower.
I am curious about that.
So this is purely net revenue here, and that's what it's going to break out right there, is our net revenue. So restaurant level count as a period end. So this is the number of restaurants. So you'll see what they're adding year to date. So they actually added restaurants this year, and they've been on a progression up. And you can kind of see if you did. I can't highlight this, but if you see this chart, which I've highlighted here, you'll see that's the trend that was going up, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So, if you factor going beyond COVID, but here's the important thing, and I think this is where we want to talk. If people are working from home, are they as likely to go out to a Sweetgreen? That's the bet you're making, kind of.
We're hoping that those digital sales of Uber Eats are going to make
right,
up
but
for
like
it.
when we talked about Expensify, which was another one, and they're kind
Yeah.
of, you're probably familiar with Concur.
Oh,
the
yeah.
the travel application.
Yeah.
Expensify is an IPO I looked at a couple days ago, and they are competing directly with Concur, and in their competing directly with Concur, please stick your mic. And they're competing directly with Concur. I did have a mic die on me, so we'll put it kind of right here.
We knew we should have charged it longer.
We knew we
That's
should have
okay.
charged it longer. Go ahead and talk real quick, Bill.
Oh, yeah, I'm just testing one,
Yeah,
two.
we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
So when you're talking about Concur, is the travel industry going to come back? So I guess that's the loaded question: is the travel industry going to come back? Because Concur is all based on travel and expenses and things like that. So when people are working from home, are they ordering as much from these restaurants, or
Exactly. Yeah.
or are
No,
they
I
making
understand.
it? Are they making it at home themselves?
Yeah.
So we'll see revenue in millions. We'll see all these things. Restaurant level profit margin, 18 to 20%. Average investment. Okay. They're spending 1.2 million for build out.
That's not ridiculous for a new build out of a restaurant, and that's probably going to explain a lot of why they have such a negative cash flow.
Okay.
Was it a full negative cash flow, or was that just?
It's
okay.
That's net profit.
Yeah.
That's do they make money?
Yeah.
They so here, let's take a look. So they operate in a large growing market that is critical to society. Food is a massive important category. Let's talk about food. Who cares? Healthy food. Look, I'm a big boy. Me and healthy food, we don't usually talk the same language. Our industry has not evolved sufficiently to reflect changing customer tastes. So large restaurant chains. So we're looking at, this is their market opportunity. So they're saying, I'm going to talk about something I've never talked about on this channel before, but this is a standard. We are both MBAs, and you have something called a SWOT: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. And this is the first time I've really seen it kind of talk about this. So, they're kind of doing their own SWOT analysis here.
Yeah.
So, they're talking about this as an opportunity. So it's not a strength. They've already talked about their strengths, but they're talking about where can they make money here, in the healthy foods. And, people, no matter how many salads McDonald's adds and fruit cups, and I used to love the McDonald's parfaits back in the day, but they were packed with sugar.
Ain't nobody doesn't like parfait.
Nobody don't like parfait.
That's my best
this is
Eddie
what they're
Murphy.
Our
Best
industry.
Eddie Murphy from Shrek.
Ha! Oh, Shrek and Donkey.
Okay, no.
Yeah, that's bad. Ain't nobody know like the parfaits. But we're going right there. They're saying our industry has not evolved sufficiently to reflect changing consumer tastes. People want to get healthier. Hey, look, it lasts for 3 weeks, from the 1st of January to about the 21st of January, and the cheeseburger comes back.
That'd be great.
So, it's not kept pace. The healthy food has not kept pace. Limited direct relationships with our customers. We sit in the intersection of powerful consumer trends shaping our industry. Hey, look, we guessed this all already.
Yeah.
Increased focus on health and wellness, a shift towards plant-based meals, rapid adoption of digital and delivery, stronger connection with purpose-driven brands. I'll tell you, I am one that's all about making money and not really caring about the purpose. But, if we're looking at today, if we look at launched, it's crazy. If you look at this, Allbirds, it went back poo-poo cuckoo today. Do you know what Allbirds is? You ever heard of them?
No.
Imagine, Tom's, the shoe company back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine Tom's that gave shoes to the kids in Africa, but on more of a green angle.
Tom's kind of got exposed that it wasn't really a good.
Well,
Yeah.
we're not going to go there. But growth in our restaurant footprint. So, it's a purpose-driven brand, and the people are starting to buy these purposes. So,
Yeah.
they want to grow their restaurant footprint, new market expansion. So this is important. So they want to grow their restaurant footprint. We're looking at 1.2 million to set up the restaurant, and then we're looking at the revenue the restaurant's making. So it's going to take a few years for those restaurants to become profitable.
Yeah.
So they're putting more debt on their books. Now,
Well, they want to double the number in the next 3 to 5 years.
yeah, well, we'll see. New market expansion.
Well, no, it's right there.
Oh.
Just above the area you highlighted.
We plan to open at least 30 domestic company-owned restaurants in 2021 and approximately double our current footprint over the next 3 to 5 years. So that's 300 restaurants
That's
in the next
major
3 to 5 years.
expansion. Yeah.
So we'll call that 2025.
Okay.
300 restaurants by 2025.
Mhm.
So we see tremendous white space in the new markets in the U.S. and are confident that Sweetgreen is well positioned to meet the growing.
No, that's more than 30. Remember, they have how many stores do they have? 120. So
Right.
they're doubling it by 20.
Well, it's included in the number as well. So
Oh,
there's
okay.
a couple left this year.
Okay.
in theory. They had it was like 22 had been added already. So there's like another 8 to get to the 30.
So basically, they're going to open 100 new restaurants in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So that's $100
So new market expansion,
$120 million probably build out.
yeah, and then we've got market densification. As we open new restaurants in the same geographic market, we have not historically. Whoa, that's interesting. So, I mean, I live in an area, this is not a joke.
Yeah.
Within a 6-minute drive, there are 4 Chipotles. Like, now, that 6-minute drive assumes no traffic. But, within a 6-minute drive, there are 4 Chipotles.
Do any of them have lines when you go to
They
them?
all have lines.
Yeah, well then they're
Right.
they're
So
necessary.
what they're saying is, we're opening new restaurants in the same geographic market, and we're not cannibalizing ourselves. In markets which we operated at the beginning of the fiscal year 2014, we more than tripled our restaurant count from 2014 to 2019, and our average value grew in those markets by approximately 85% over the same period. Now you'll notice they're only talking 2014 to 2019 because what happened? What happened? You'll know this date. This is like D-Day to a lot of industries, the day that lives in infamy. March 19th, 2020. Or no, March 16th, 2020. What was that?
I don't know, some kind of shutdown.
March 16th was the last Friday before everything shut down because of COVID.
Yeah.
And then you had the 17th and 18th, and the 19th, all the companies said, don't come into work, so that was the day, that's
Yeah.
D-Day. So a lot of companies will just kind of drop their financials after that date and not really talk about them as much.
I will say, though, that expanding even an area where you already have restaurants is a very solid business plan right now. Chick-fil-A is actually really big on doing this right now. They realized that one of their biggest detractors was the lines were too long at Chick-fil-A, so they decided to increase the density of restaurants. And they still have lines, but they're not as long anymore. So that could work for them. I'm not sure. I'm not as familiar with this particular restaurant.
Okay, so the densification. So if they add more, they're really not cannibalizing their market. And then additional digital capacity.
Because they haven't in the past.
Yeah.
I can't speak in the future.
Yes. Remember, we talk about this on this channel all the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, we were just playing roulette. I sometimes joke about roulette, but I was at the roulette table 45 minutes ago. And if you're playing roulette and the number lands on number 4, and let's say there are 38 possible numbers, ball lands on number 4. Your odds are 1 in 38 of the ball landing on a number 4 because I'm counting 0 and double 0 and up to 36. Now, what are the odds that it's going to land on 4 again the next time?
Still 1 in 38.
Past performance is not indicative of future results. Remember that. That's important to understand. So they're adding additional digital capacity, so planning future growth. We have intentionally built additional capacity at our existing restaurants for more digital revenue. Chipotle, perfect example. Now, down by me, they have this. I don't know if they have it by you. Do they have a separate line by you just for online orders that they got in the back? We have that.
Some of the stores.
Some of them do.
Yeah.
So they're adding a separate line because I have a feeling that it's very similar to the Chipotle setup from all the pictures we've seen there. And we plan to diversify our store formats by adding drive-through and pickup.
Just like Starbucks is doing.
Who said that? Now, what you'll notice is when I do these S1 reviews, I'll call stuff out before we even get it, because we kind of see where the market's going. That's why people like to watch this, and you go, who's going to watch 40 minutes of this? We call stuff out before they call it out.
The fast food industry is all the same right now in that particular idea.
Yeah.
Now, I think that this is important to realize that there is still a need for people to actually sit in a restaurant and do business. So I think Starbucks might be doing a little bit too much.
I like Zoom.
I know you like that's fine, but I think there's something to be said of sitting on a laptop inside a coffee shop and doing work. There's something that's kind of fun.
We're talking a coffee shop that serves coffee or an Amsterdam coffee shop?
Well,
both.
The coffee one. Let's say that.
As Zoidberg says, why not both? Now, you remember we talked about the storefronts before in the picture?
Uh-huh.
So they're talking about growing brand awareness, okay? Honestly, when I read Sweetgreens, when I went on the Robinhood app and I saw there's an IPO for Sweetgreens, you know the first thing I said? I said, oh crap, this is another one of those places that delivers vegetables to your damn door in a box every week. That I didn't know what it was, and I was like, this is another one of those.
At least you didn't think it was sweet tomatoes.
No, that's Soup Plantation. They went out of business.
Yeah, they're gone.
but-
That was a buffet con.
Yeah, so
Buffets just,
those storefronts are kind of interesting. Leverage iconic storefronts. So our customers do not just go to a Sweetgreen; they go to their local Sweetgreen. So they want to give it an identity. You know, the Apple thing's not far off. They're kind of they're playing the Apple game there. So
I question how true that actually is. I know that that's probably what their customers are saying, but I think it's really based on where they're working.
yeah,
That's there's something else there.
yeah. We plan to foster new collaborations with cultural influencers who believe in. Okay, you know what? They're saying that, you know, if you saw the TikTok, we were looking at the TikTok before with all those people. Those are cultural influencers that are getting people interested in Sweetgreen. And if you got people following those cultural influencers and Sweetgreen comes to town and people know what Sweetgreen is because they've seen the recipes online on that, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Not my market, not his market. We fat. We don't like salads. Even though he ate a salad earlier tonight, but I don't eat salad. You know, build our social community.
500,000 social media followers. They act like that's a big number. That's really not. 500,000's not
Not a huge number.
Yeah, especially if that's combined over all of their social media followers. It could be the same people. I'm not going to look too much into that.
Okay. Grow our digital customers. Maintaining direct relationships with our customers on digital platforms is a key strategic goal for Sweetgreen. Not only our own digital users are our most frequent customers, but the average order value, dollar value. So they're saying if you order on the app, you're spending more money.
That makes perfect sense.
Because you're likely buying for two. You know,
It's not even just that. If you're on the app, a lot of times the prices are higher.
take a look at this. And if you're on the app, they have certain exclusive menu items.
Right.
And they're not higher. Guess what they are?
Oh,
They're lower.
for their unique items.
No. Because remember, you don't have to pay a cashier to ring that up. Your COGS goes down. So you can pass that COGS's cost of goods
Okay.
sold.
I wasn't talking about their app. I was talking about
No, they're
Uber
talking about
Eats.
their app.
Yeah.
They're talking about their app.
Okay.
You know,
my mistake. I misspoke there.
so
Yeah.
expand. So they are really going hard on digital. Now I'll give you a perfect example, and Bill knows this. I actually participated in this study a few months ago with Burger King. And with Burger King, they were going really hard on the digital angle
Oh, the
there.
crypto thing.
No, not the crypto thing. The
Oh.
drive-through thing that I told you about. That
Oh,
drive-through
yeah.
study.
Uh-huh.
I can't say much about it because I'm still under a non-disclosure agreement on it. But this is very similar to what Burger King's doing. And if you go up and you order in a Burger King drive-through in the future, you may not be talking to someone actually inside of that specific restaurant. It's not as far as I can go. But if you've ever called tech support before, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So they Seamless. Are you familiar with Seamless? So Seamless is kind of a way to do online ordering. It's kind of like an Uber kind of thing. So, oh no, sorry, not that Seamless. That's a British thing. They're just making it personalized. So you could say you don't want the onions, you don't want this, you don't want that. That's where they're going with that. Expand our multi-channel approach. New revenue channels, formats such as drive-through, catering, curbside pickup, in order to meet our customers where they are. What we got?
Well, I'm getting a little ahead of it, so let's hold on. Let's look at CRM.
Where?
So they are doing a lot of CRM. That's going to be your
Oh,
rewards
yeah.
program and everything. Search engine optimization, mobile push apps, mobile push notifications through their app.
Now that's
So they have their own app.
that's
right?
cost. Yeah, they do. That's
Yeah.
costing a lot of money though. Building a lot of that out is expensive. People is a lot of money.
Yeah.
That is very important to understand. So you know they have to have an ROI or return on investment strategy to really go ahead and do something that kind of crazy. Expand the core ingredients. So they're looking to expand their core ingredients. Again, you don't want to get too crazy because we were talking about this earlier today.
Exactly.
It's something called choice paralysis. They have a pizza place on board the ship. It's weird how relatable this is, but I think it's valid to talk about this. And we are going to talk about the finances of the ship. And this is a private cruise line, which is what's interesting. If you know Carnival, Norwegian, the others are public cruise lines. This, what we're on right now, is actually a private cruise line. So I want to look at the finances of that. But expanding core ingredients could cause, I call it choice paralysis. What was the word you had for it?
Yeah, and we use the term choice overload. And the classic example that we use, let's say you have a headache and you go to a drugstore to get some medicine to relieve your headache. but then your headache gets worse because there's like 18 different types of pain relievers, and you just can't figure out which one is right. And a lot of them have the same brand, but they have one slightly different ingredient in place, so it just drives you insane. So sometimes it's easier just to have like one or two choices than it is to have, 18.
Right. So not only the core ingredients, but the new categories. But we saw, hey, look, they added that new categories, and this year, 41% of their sales came from those new things.
Yeah.
So if their sales are going up and they're adding new things, they haven't hit that choice paralysis precipice yet, I guess is the correct term.
And sometimes you need the extra choices just because we have people that have, they still want meaty proteins, but they're vegan, so we're going with impossible
And then
offerings.
take a look here. Consumer packaged goods.
Grocery stores.
They want to have their own. They want to have sweet green salad dressing. And honestly, that's a place I do not want to compete with Newman's Own. If I'm them,
Newman, well, not just Newman's Own, but anything
I
that
know.
Kraft has.
Anything Kraft, it's going to be
Yeah.
really hard for them to get that shelf space. The slotting fees are ridiculous for the
Yeah.
categories they're going after. So, honestly, that's a nice goal long term, but I don't think that's going to happen in the foreseeable future.
I mean, look at one of my favorite old Mexican restaurants, Chi-Chi's. Every single location in the United States went out of business, but they still have Chi-Chi's salsa on shelves.
Yeah, because they got slotting
Yeah.
fees cheap back in the day. Okay, so this is important. Our goal is to be capital efficient, profitable, and sustainable at scale. Oh, look. Let's translate this into English, not corporate bullshit. Let's call it what it is. To date, we've not made any money in any period ever. Yeah.
That's not a red flag, is it, Rich?
No.
Oh, okay.
To date, we've not achieved profitability in any fiscal period. So any 3-month period, they've never been profitable. Large in part because they have consciously invested in our operating and technology foundation. I'm okay with that. No, that's okay. We've looked at our technology foundation. So they've built out their tech. They've done other things. Now they weren't doing that in 2014. Let's be honest. The tech, all this tech spending, happened real quick because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
You and I both know that. I mean, everybody that's in the food industry panicked and did a huge pivot and everything like that. So, all the stuff in tech happened because of that. I want to scroll down a little bit.
They're not even saying that they expect profitability anytime soon. They're
Oh,
just
we'll
saying
see
that
this.
their
We'll see this.
margins will be improved,
Yeah.
but they're not expecting profitability.
As we accelerate our growth in the coming years, we expect to do so efficiently without significantly increasing our general administrative costs. We are confident this will enable top-line growth and operational leverage, resulting in improved margins. So they're thinking they're not going to say we're going to make money.
Well, that's
And
their
I
goal.
guarantee you what's coming down lower, because the S1 is they're going to talk about dividends, and they're going to talk about how they have no plans to do dividends.
Yeah.
So that's
But
the
now
idea.
we have an acquisition.
We have an acquisition. Spyce in September 2001. So
Automation.
literally right before they filed this S1, they completed the acquisition of Spyce Foods, a Boston-based restaurant company powered by, the purpose of the acquisition is to serve our food with even better quality, consistency, efficiency in restaurants via automation.
So this might be a tech play instead of a restaurant play.
And you know what's important about tech plays?
Yeah.
Tech plays can trade negative for a long time.
Yeah,
Tech don't gotta make money. Hey, has Uber ever made money?
not to my knowledge.
Has Lyft ever made money?
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't, because it's tech.
Yeah.
So we're getting into tech. So
Yeah.
this very well could
Now,
be.
to be fair, have you ever heard of this Spyce company?
No.
I've never heard of them or anything. I don't know if the tech's any good. So we should.
Let's,
Be a
you know
little
what's
careful
cool?
on that.
No. I mean, I don't know if it's just going to redirect me to Sweetgreen. I don't know what kind of internet we got going on right now. The future is fresher. Let's give it a second. Looks really similar to kind of, maybe it's the containers? Oh, okay. This is what they're doing. They're kind of personalizing takeout. That's what they bought.
Okay,
It's not, I like it. There's something there. Is that a machine?
that's just an oven.
We use cutting-edge culinary techniques to bring over. It is a tech play. Ooh,
But there's 2 locations.
Boston.
And
Hey, look how easy it was to find locations here.
there's only one left in Harvard Square
Yeah,
because their downtown crossing location is closed.
yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a full tech play. This looks like it's a business that kind of is in their same area. Looked like they
Yeah,
probably
and they
had,
just bought it for the tech behind it.
yeah.
But okay, risk factors. This is actually interesting. You know,
Yeah.
what's cool is they're going to list all this and then they're going to break it down. So we're going to try and guess how they're going to break it down. We operate in a highly competitive industry. If we're not able to compete effectively, it could have an adverse effect on our business, financial condition, results of operations. Pandemics. Hey, look, everybody mentions that nowadays. Our future growth depends on our ability to open new restaurants subject to many unpredictable factors. That's what they're going to say.
Everybody says this.
Our long-term success is highly dependent on our ability to effectively identify and secure and appropriate sites for new restaurants. Now, here's the funny thing. I don't know about by you, because we're both in Florida, but we're in different parts of Florida. By me, restaurants are going out of business like crazy.
It's not the same in my region. It's not. And I think right now we're kind of experiencing a renaissance. Ron DeSantis has really, tried to get businesses come back to Florida, or even new businesses come in. But tourism is a huge play in Florida, and tourism's coming back here faster than I think anywhere else in the country, really. So it might be short-lived, but I don't know.
Interesting.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
by me, restaurants are closing left, right, and center. New restaurants that are open, that is the funniest line in this whole S1. Do you want to know why? Has this company ever made a profit?
Just because the whole company's not profitable, some of the units might still be profitable. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so, but we're saying their success depends substantially on the value of our brand. Again, that's another important thing, and that might be why they bought that other brand, the automation brand we were talking about earlier, to expand out that brand.
Yeah, and maybe there's some kind of cost savings per unit with that, too.
Yeah, maybe they were paying that company before. I don't know if it's going to dig into this. Food safety. This is important. I was saying that, we were having a discussion earlier today that salad's the most dangerous thing because...
Yeah, well, salad is generally not frozen. So a lot of restaurants have pre-frozen foods, pre-frozen beef patties and everything like that.
Even the boat we're on right now, most of the stuff is frozen, other than the salad and the fruits,
Yeah, but salad, that means that foodborne illness has a higher risk. So anytime you have a salad-based company like that, that's something to really consider.
Yeah. And again, we have incurred significant losses since inception. We expect our operating expenses to increase significantly in the foreseeable future as we grow our business and increase new restaurant
They want
openings.
to double the number of stores they have. Of course they're going to.
Yeah, things are going to get expensive to double the number of stores. I guess you
over
are
$1 million a store too.
Yeah, very expensive. Increases in labor costs. The minimum wage is going up, so they're putting this as a risk factor. Minimum wage is gonna be $15 an hour eventually. Very soon.
They'll have to pay a lot higher than that in DC.
In DC, they'll have to pay 20, 22, 25. Who knows? Yeah. That's why I like the automation play. That's why I like the automation pay. Guess what you got to pay robots? A couple kilowatt hours a day in electricity. So so you got to pay robots and servers. So I like robots and servers. I'm a big fan of robots and servers. We have been likely party to litigation that could distract management. That could be foodborne illness litigation. I think it is. Honestly, let's just see. I'm not going to look through the entire Google history.
Are there any illnesses come out recently? Like foodborne illnesses with salads? Any salad?
So this is interesting. They have a lot of negativity around their CEO for calling fat people lazy or something like that. That's not how you get the fat people to eat salad. Salad chain CEO draws backlash over comments about COVID-19 pandemic and obesity. And this is the kind of stuff they're addressing there in that form. They're talking about things like that. They really truly are talking about things like that. 78% of this is what the CEO said. 78% of hospitalizations due to COVID are obese and overweight people. It's a fact. I agree, but those obese people might want to eat a salad, And you're kind of this is what litigation that could distract our management, increase our expenses, or subject us to monetary damagement or other remedies. That's clearly what they're talking about there,
It happens.
Cybersecurity, yeah, everyone gets hacked. Rapidly changing, increasing stringent laws, regulations, related to privacy data. Okay, that's all that. Okay, our dual-class capital structure. Upon the completion of this offering, we'll have two classes of common stock, Class A and Class B. Each share of Class A common stock is entitled to 1 vote per share. Class B is 10 votes per share. That's how they keep control and the CEO doesn't get ousted. They're only selling Class A. You can only get Class B if you work for the company in a capacity. So it'll have more value, plus you'll be able to to vote.
Yeah.
You'll have a lot more voting power with that. So
Yeah.
offering all outstanding shares of our Class B common stock. Look, all shares of our common stock will be owned by our founders. So they have 10 times the voting power of
Who
a regular,
collectively represent blank percent of the voting power.
because they haven't set a final price yet.
Ah,
This is kind of early in this. That will be filled in eventually when they set a final price. Corporate information. We're founded, again, Delaware company. The offering, again, that's going to all be blank.
okay.
Let's see, risk factors. We've talked about those.
They want SG as their trading
What's
symbol.
SG? So SG, Sweetgreens. Proposed. It'll probably happen. If it doesn't exist yet, they filed the prospectus. Pretty standard. If you ever look in Robinhood, it's probably already there. Summary of consolidated financial data. So what we're looking for is we're actually looking for what firm did this. So this has been audited. So this has actually been audited. Should tell us who's audited there. But you'll see there's their fiscal.
Year over year, I mean, those numbers are not great. But again, it was
COVID.
So,
COVID.
yeah.
COVID. Again, numbers are not great. We saw the numbers on the high end.
Yeah.
This shows you, their new restaurant openings. That's the number of new restaurant openings they've had in each of those quarters in
Now,
this fiscal
now,
year.
here's what's really interesting to me, Rich.
Yep.
If you look at the restaurant level profit margin, in 2019 it was 16%. In 2020, it went down to
Losing
negative
4%.
Yeah, geez.
So the corporate is eating a lot of the money away.
Yeah. But if you look
The
at
restaurants
the
are
13
making
weeks
money.
ended, they're back up to 14% this year for the last 13 weeks.
Right. So they're really on track to
Yeah.
go back to the pre-COVID trend. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. They're on track to go back to the pre-COVID trend. Risk factors. We've talked about these. We're going to scroll through these to give you the things we've already talked about. They expand on it. We operate in a highly competitive industry. If not able to complete effectively, we could have an adverse effect on our business financial condition. Again, we kind of looked at all these, talked about these pandemics, diseases, things like that. Obviously, there's a couple we want to take a look at.
Vaccination mandates in New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the stuff we've talked about in the more liberal. Okay. Our future growth depends on the ability to open new restaurants and is subject to many unpredictable factors. Here's where they actually lay it out. Our key means of achieving a growth strategy for the foreseeable future will be through opening new restaurants. So we're going to spend a lot of money to make, hopefully, a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's really what they're saying in no uncertain terms. We're going
And
to
they
spend.
talk about their delays when they open restaurants because they might build one for $1 million, but can't open it for a year.
Due to recent staffing and hiring industries in the restaurant industry throughout the country, we may not have sufficient staffing or labor in order to open our new restaurants on schedule or at full capacity. That means they're just going to open it without a dining room. That's obviously what's going to happen here.
It could be. Yeah.
I mean, and that's why they're looking. Look, next sentence. They're looking at new restaurant formats, including walk-up, drive-in, or drive-through formats, or store formats incorporating. It is a tech play. I think it's a tech play.
Automation.
I think that's bigger than people are putting on here.
You think it's a ghost kitchen idea?
I do.
That they have a second company that just does customized salads and they deliver to you?
I
They
do.
operate that separately out of their existing stores.
Yeah.
That could be a big.
So I think for
We
the
don't know
viewers,
this.
we should explain
Yeah.
Ghost Kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
If you're familiar with Buca de Beppo, you might have them nearby. There's a company called Restaurant Concepts. I think that's the name of it. And they've worked with a lot of YouTubers. And they're
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast Burger actually runs out of Buca de Beppo, and a bunch of other random ass YouTuber stuff runs out of Buca de Beppo. So
Yeah.
they could go into, with this tech, they could be looking at, our long-term success is highly dependent on our ability to effectively identify, secure, and appropriate sites for new restaurants. Again, they're looking for negotiating leases with acceptable terms, receiving timely delivery of leased premises, obtaining tenant improvement allowances from our landlords. These are all, construction materials. Hey, construction materials are still very hard to get nowadays. So it's getting better, identifying, hiring, training qualified employees. Our expansions into new markets may present risks. We've opened and plan to continue opening restaurants where we have little or no operating experience. Particularly, our restaurants have been in heavily concentrated, large urban areas. We talked about this. We guessed. We said they were more liberal areas. New York City, Los Angeles, Boston, Washington, D.C., Maryland. Hey, Virginia was liberal until 2 days ago. So, sorry if that's a sore spot.
DC area still is.
The
That
DC
has
area
not
still
changed.
is, but I'm sorry if that's a sore spot there, but it was liberal. New markets may have competitive conditions or customer taste discretionary. There may not be money to buy salads. Because by the time, look, here's the thing. I don't even know what Sweetgreen costs right now, and it probably changes based on the market. But this is probably already a $15 salad. Start paying people a $22, $24, $26 minimum wage. That's a $20 salad. You ever think you can pay $20 for a salad? You know, that's an important thing. New restaurants, once open, may not be profitable. Again, they're talking about that. We talked about that. I will leave this document below. I don't want this to go on much longer than it already is. Our success is dependent on sustainability and value of the brand, failure to preserve the brand, food safety, and foodborne illness concerns. We cannot guarantee that our internal procedures and training will be fully effective in preventing. And it's talking specifically about E. coli and hepatitis A. You know, they have an internal scene, and they rely on third-party distributors, making it difficult to monitor food safety and compliance.
You didn't want to pronounce cyclospora?
No. You familiar with cyclophora? I didn't feel like doing that at 3:30 in the morning, East Coast time.
That's
So just
okay.
rely on third-party distributors, so that's important. New illnesses resistant to our current precautions may develop in the future. Illnesses with long incubation periods, COVID. You know, they may come in the future.
COVID's not really foodborne.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Long incubation periods. You know,
The
the
romaine
risk even
lettuce
exists if it
recall
were
from
late.
a
If
few
it were
years ago.
later determined that the illness was wrongfully attributed to one of our restaurants. So they really have a big brand problem with lettuce. You called that earlier.
Yeah, well,
You-
lettuce is a big risk factor. Even if it's not your own business, if there's a lettuce scare, let's say that even Wendy's has bad lettuce or something. 'cause
People
why
are
am
not
I-
going
why
to
am I
eat
using
salad
Wendy's?
if you get something on.
Remember the finger in the chili? It wasn't
Yeah.
even real.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
Wendy's
if
sales
you
went way
get
down.
something on CNN or Fox News or ABC National News that says there's a major lettuce recall,
Yeah.
that salad company is going to drop 20% overnight.
Yeah, and that also affects even if a grocery store has like bag
Yeah.
salad that goes bad, it'll also.
Let's
affect-
read this one. You know, we have
Every-
incurred significant losses
Yeah.
since inception. We expect our operating expenses to increase significantly in the foreseeable future as we grow our business, increase our new restaurant openings, and invest in new technology. We may not achieve profitability.
We called that a while.
It's a tech company.
Oh wait, it goes back up to the acquisition right here.
Where we go? Okay.
Spyce.
Our acquisition of Spyce and any other investments to automate. It's a tech play. They keep mentioning it.
Now this could be marketing on the company's
It
side,
could be
because
marketing.
because they
I agree
know
with you.
that tech.
Look,
Tech
they know
performs
that they can
differently
trade
in
at a
an IPO.
higher price earning
Yeah.
multiple if they're a tech or you know, they
Yeah.
can trade at much higher price earnings if they're a tech company than if they're not.
What do you
A
guys
tech
think? Leave a comment if you think this is really a tech play or if this is really just a restaurant that sells salad. You know?
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious.
If we're not able to hire train again, this is an employee thing.
Yeah, we especially want to hear from you if you live in the DC area and you've been going
Yeah.
Here for a long time.
I agree.
And Sweetgreen is really, they're everywhere around DC.
Changes in food supply costs. Again, we were talking about, look, here's two things that we conjectured about. You know, increases in labor cost, unable to introduce new products, menu items, and drive that. Increases in food supply costs.
Yeah.
Are people going to pay $25 for a salad?
Only you can answer that.
You know, it's kind of interesting. You know, are people going to pay $25 for a salad? You know, as weird as it sounds, we got this iPhone right here. They've always cost about $1,000. You know, for the past few years. So, you know, I'm talking entry level. You know, that price hasn't gone up really yet. An increase in price or lack of availability of products are critical to our menu due to national forces like weather, climate change, everything like that.
Rich, would you pay $25 for a salad?
No.
What if 1,000 people smash the like button on this video? Will you buy a salad? For
No.
$25? Oh, well, don't do that then.
No, I don't like salad. Failure to manage our growth effectively can harm our business and results. Hey, look at that! We may not persuade customers of the benefits of paying our prices for higher quality food. It's always amazing when you...
We increased our pricing in 2021 and may increase prices further due to the increased cost of labor or ingredients or other factors. Yeah, No kidding. Everything's going up in price right now. So,
Inflation is transitory, though.
Yeah.
Inflation is transitory.
Well,
Changes
that's
in
why
commodity.
that's why you keep your money in multiple currencies.
Yes. Like crypto.
Yeah.
We're a crypto channel too. We depend on our senior management team, key employees. The loss of one person, attract hire, yeah.
That's
Failure.
pretty standard stuff.
Corporate culture, marketing strategies,
Attitude.
environmental stability, require additional capital to support business growth. Capital might not be on reasonable terms or at all.
This is all pretty standard, though.
There's nothing out of the ordinary yet. Yeah, this is actually kind of where it starts to get interesting. Remember, they're in large urban areas, and if our operations in these geographies are negatively affected, our financial results, this is when they closed all the stores.
Yeah.
This is what caused it to go down. So they're saying if there's another pandemic, acquisitions can be difficult to identify, pose integration challenges. So they are looking to acquire some more.
So significant time and resources, equity, securities to acquire Spyce. They want to integrate Spyce's technology into the restaurants. Yes, I think they really are pushing this tech that Spyce has. So,
Interesting.
If any of you have experience with Spyce at all, I want to hear about it in the comments, because
Yeah.
that's interesting to us.
Credit agreement, that's fine. That's all pretty standard.
Yeah. This is a huge document. Just keeps
Oh,
going.
I don't think you realize how big, and we're nowhere near, but we're about where we end here. We end at the risk factors. Gives us an idea of what's going on. So, intellectual property, I think I'm ready to kind of make a call here.
Okay.
As strange as it sounds, I think I'm ready to actually make an interesting call here. So let's open up Robinhood. I don't think we have pricing yet. So that's kind of important that we don't yet have pricing. Let me see. Let me go back to my phone. But if I go in, I can say I am interested in the Sweetgreen IPO. I can say I agree. But since we don't have pricing, it can't actually give me a share price yet. I'll tell you, we need to see where the price falls and everything like that. So I think that there should be some more research on Spyce, because Spyce is an interesting variable here. So I think the one benefit we have on our side is time right now. And I think what we should do is we should really dig into Spyce and take a look at what Spyce is. I see this as a tech play. Now, can that entire tech play be marketing? Let's shake our heads together. Let's be honest. Again, I like to talk about where we currently are. This is not a green screen. I pulled something from in front of it. That makes no sense.
You mustered up for the occasion.
That actually exists. I can't make that one up. This is a tech play as well. This boat that we're on right now is positioned itself as a tech play. It's a private company, but it's owned by a private equity group. We got these little wristbands right here. Honestly, we were told these wristbands do amazing things, can find us anywhere on the entire boat. You wrap it around and everything like that. Honestly,
they're cute. Look, they look like little anchors.
they look like little anchors. But here's the thing:
Aww.
a lot of the tech behind it has been nothing but a headache. Every crew member needs to come up, and when they want to get on our band, they tap it, and then they physically have to rotate it to the other side.
Yeah.
It is a tech play. The app wasn't working for him when he came on board. So, tech plays are interesting plays. I think the interesting thing is I think here's where we're going to go. Is Sweetgreen's spicy enough, SPYCE, spicy enough to be a tech company? And that is the question I want to answer going forward. If it's an automation play, I want to buy as much of this as I can, if there's actual tech behind it. You kind of feel that same way?
Absolutely.
If we've got good tech behind it, so what we're going to do is over the next few days when we're sailing on the sea with Mr. Bucky, we're going to do a little looking at what is spicy and come back, because we've got one thing that you never have, one thing you can never get back. We've got time. So this is not IPOing this week. This is likely not IPOing next week. It's IPOing at least 3 weeks away. So we've got time to take a look and see what is going on with Spyce. So if it's a real automation play and they're really dealing in automation and they're really going to change that much, I want in, because you know why? Here's what's going to happen. Let's talk. Bill does not like what I'm about to say, because he thinks I'm wrong about all these things. We're not going to go into the whole history right now because we've gone on too long. I think this is a great Chipotle acquisition play if they have the tech. You think I'm crazy? If the tech is there and they have something unique, someone's going to buy it.
I'm not sure it'd be Chipotle, but another group that's fast food based. I see that.
If there's good tech. So
Yeah.
what I want to do, Spyce is an important variable. I want to see if that Spyce is nice. So this is Richard from No Pants Profits. Unfortunately, wearing pants today, live to tape from the Virgin Voyages of Scarlet Lady. We're going to take a look at the Spyce that's nice, and we're going to do some research on Spyce and bring that back to you. This is Richard and Bill, guest starring for No Pants Profits. And remember, when you're wearing no pants, all you have left to lose is your shirt.
Smash the like button.
Oh, God. I'll see you around for the Spyce overview, and we'll make a final decision here.